Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So it's a bit of a different angle. Don't know how I feel about it. If you guys like it, let me know in the comments below, and then we'll stick with this angle. You know, I've been moving all over the desk. We've been over there 1 week in front, a couple weeks over here. Then there was the behind period, which I got a lot of hate for. So now we're going to a side period, I guess, and maybe soon we'll end up on that side. God knows where we'll be next. Maybe up there, you know, pointing straight down at me, and you can see my bald spot at the top of my head, I guess, is the best way of describing it. Who knows? But that's the camera angle. What we're here to do is to code. So in this video we're going to be looking at functions. So what functions are a great way of neatly organizing code and reusing code without having to copy and paste. So the way a function essentially works is that you would have a block of code at the top of a program potentially, and you take two inputs. Let's say you wanted a piece of code that always adds two numbers together. You give it 5 and 7, and it would give you back the added up number. You would only have to code the addition of the two numbers once. That's a function. Functions are beautiful. I love functions. When I write code, I will litter them with functions because they just make everything easy. You know, you have one function that does the whole thing, and you just don't have to write it again. It's just all it is. If you want to change it, you change that function, and you don't have to change all of the code. So they're a way of reusing code efficiently, organizing code, and separating code into sections, essentially. So the first thing we're going to do is obviously open up Python. So get into idle, you'll see a screen like this. Press Control N obviously to open up your script windows. So once we have our script windows up, we're going to get straight into coding. What we're going to create here is a application that will tell you the area of a circle based off its radius. So the first thing you need to know is, how do you get the area of a circle? Well, the area of a circle is pi. In this instance, we're just going to use 3.14 times by the radius squared. So now that we've covered the basics of the maths, we're going to head into the programming. So if I write define, or def stands for definition, or define, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to define a function. That's all it really is. I don't know why I try to make that sound like it was something more. Type in circle area because that's what it does. And I'm going to put in an input into this function called radius. So when I run this circle area, I'm going to provide it with one number, and it will return the area from that. So what is the area? Well, the area is equal to 3.14 times by the radius, and then squared. I can just write that, and that is my function done. Now, the one thing you have to always remember is I've now defined this variable called area. It is now storing the radius times 3.14 times squared, you know, the circle of the area. How do I give this number back to the main application? So in every single function, unless it's void, which I'll cover in a moment, you will always have a return. So by return, I mean give back this variable from wherever this function is being used. A void function is one where it will perform a task but not return anything back. So examples of that might be you have a function that changes a global variable, which is a variable that can be accessed anywhere in the code. But as a result of changing a global variable, you do not need to return the global variable because it's accessible everywhere. It's a really bad example. In Python, you're probably just going to return most of the time. So if I now have that, that means I can now create an application. Well, the application will be, I'm going to ask a user to input an integer where they can enter a radius of a circle. And that's the end of that. So I have a radius of a circle. I ask the user to type this number in, and they're expecting to see the circle area. So I can then print a circle area is going to be equal to circle area with letter R inside. So what you'll see here is when I write circle area and put R inside, I don't have to put radius. Why is that? Well, radius is the word that is being used inside the function. So this is what they call scope of variables, and I'll discuss that in a different video. All you need to know right now is if I define a variable at the top of a function, it will be used inside that function only, and as a result, I can use any other variable that's outside the function to call the function. You probably won't understand that, but just trust me on it. I'll deal with that in another video where we'll discuss scope. So if I was to run this program right now, and I call this test_9, what we're going to get here is enter a radius of a circle. So for my testing example, I'm going to use 12, and that equals 452.16. And I know for a fact that is right because that's what I used in the example. So that's how you lay out a function. So what do we need to know from this? Well, I'm going to show you what the basic layout is of a function. Just to be clear, you write def, put a function name here, and you put the parameters here. Always put that there. And then we're also going to put function underscore code here. And that's basically it. You'll have some more code here, and finally you will return an expression. That there is a function. Functions are the greatest tool to ever exist in programming, and I love functions. And you can tell because this is probably the liveliest I've been in a video in a while. So from this, there's not much to take away. It's just you need to know the structure. You can do anything with these. Any inputs can go into a function. Any outputs can come out of a function. And a function could be hundreds or thousands of lines long, as long as it does what it needs to do. You can have functions inside functions, or you can even use the same function to call itself, which is called recursion, which we'll cover in another video. This is really the next stage of your programming skill. We'll be taking you from the basics of being able to print and, add and stuff like that to having functions. Another thing you should also know, I know this is a lot of information as usual, it is possible to have a function without a parameter. Reason being, like I said, you could use this function to call something and do something somewhere which affects the program elsewhere. So it definitely is possible to have a function that does not take any inputs and could actually return a variable based off what it does. So all we need to know is that you are now skilled in learning how to use functions. And I apologize for how bad this video sounds right now in my head. But I assure you, you've learned all you need to know to be able to code with functions. So thanks guys for watching this video of Learn to Code. I'll be moving on to something else next week, which I don't know. And it won't be next week because it'll be in 4 days' time. But thank you all. I hope you've had fun. I'm having a lot of fun, as you can tell. And I'll catch you guys next time where we'll do something else with the functions, I guess, of course. God, I love functions a lot. But see you guys.